Hey everyone, welcome to Roads of Oz. My name is Matt, and on this episode, it's just a little tip on how to keep everything together when you're pulling a bike apart and you're not sure when you're going to get it back together. So I've made the mistake before, leaving it laid out on the floor and thinking I'd come back to it, only to trip over it and make an absolute mess. Now, trying to remember where everything goes, I'm not a mechanic, and I've also got the memory of a goldfish, so my memory's not great when it comes to putting things back together. Now, in the case of the BMW here, it's excellent. Pretty much all the Torx bits are identical, so everything goes back in its place and it's not a problem. But when you've got different size bolts, torque bits, hex-headed screws, and you can't remember where it all goes, well, I've got a little tip for you. First thing we need to do is head back to the computer. All right, so the internet is your ally. So all I did was typed in Grisso spare parts. It was about the fourth item down. So in this case, I just pulled up rear body fairing, and they'll give you a drawing and the part. You can actually print all this off. I just used the sniping tool, printed off a section because I just need the drawing as a reference, but that'll tell you the sides of the screws. So screw M5x12, and you can see where they go. So having a spare parts catalogue on the internet is such a handy thing, and just about every motorcycle has them. And my tip is save it to your favourite so you can refer back to it whenever you're doing work on the bike. Anyway, back to the garage. All right, so got the printout here. So in this case, I'm gonna start from the top. Here in Australia, K-Mart sells a lot of cheap stuff, and they sell some very cheap containers. So this 24 compartment storage box is gonna be ideal, and I'll show you what I plan on doing with it. First, we're gonna unwrap it. All right, now the decision you gotta make is you really need to have some sort of numbering layout. So whether you want it like that, 1 through to 24, like that, however you want it. For me, I'm gonna start from the top left, and that's gonna be 1 through to 24. All right, with a permanent marker, 1 and 24. So the reason for that is we're gonna be numbering all the parts I take off the bike, label the numbers on this sheet with the corresponding number to this box, and I'll show you what I mean. So you can see at the top, no, you might not be able to. You can see at the top here, I've got these screws at the very top of the tank, and I took them out earlier. There, and we're going to put them in number 1. So I'm going to circle that, label it number 1 because that's where it is in the container, and then I'm just going to work my way along the bike. So there's 2 screws at the bottom, and put it in section 2 and label this that number 2, and so on and so forth. You get the general idea. And if I can't find it on there, I'll just write down there, these are for the battery hold down. And I'm pretty much just going to keep working my way along the bike till I get everything I need off it. So in the case of the rear tailpiece, a lot of the screws are identical in size and shape. So I'm going to keep them all together, and you can just keep them labeled. The number 5 compartment can be used multiple times, so you can write 5 here, here, and here on the diagram. Number 2 is there and there, so they're identical. There's pieces underneath, so I can circle that, write 5, circle that. 5 will have the circle inside it, would be the better option. 5, then you can move to the next page. But the idea is quite sound. Label everything on a sheet, preferably with a drawing. Put all your bits in there, and that way when you come back to them, you've got a fair idea of what goes where. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found the video interesting, and just remember, it doesn't hurt to have a go on doing some minor works on your bike. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next vid.